Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the life you dream of living. Not the life others have assigned you, not the life that circumstances have tried to chain you to, but the life that burns inside your chest like a hidden fire. That image, that whisper, that picture in your mind, it is not a fantasy. It is the seed of your destiny. Your vision is the blueprint of your future, and everything you will ever build, every battle you will ever fight, every triumph you will ever hold in your hands, begins in that silent cathedral of thought. The greatest empires in history began as visions, invisible yet undeniable. Before the steel was forged, before the foundations were laid, before the world could see them, men and women of vision carried them within. Thomas Edison sat alone in darkness, chasing an idea that others mocked, and brought forth the light that shattered the night. Henry Ford envisioned a machine for the common man when the world said horses were enough, and his vision reshaped every road on earth. Walt Disney stood staring at an empty stretch of swampland in Florida and saw castles, laughter, and dreams where others saw only mud. Each of these giants understood what so many ignore. The invisible comes before the visible. The mind sketches the plans long before the hand builds the house. But here is the truth most never grasp. Vision is not luck. It is not a random spark. Vision is chosen. It is claimed. It is held in the grip of your will and carved deeper with every decision you make. Without vision, you drift. Without vision, you follow. Without vision, your life becomes an echo of someone else's dream. But with vision, you are unstoppable. With vision, you step into the architect's role of your own destiny. And vision demands clarity. Ask yourself, what do you truly see when you look into the horizon of your future? Is it blurred with doubt, clouded by fear, distorted by the opinions of others? Or is it sharp, burning, unmistakable? The clearer your vision, the stronger the blueprint. You cannot build a palace on a sketch scribbled in the sand. You must etch it deep into stone, into your mind, until you can walk through the halls of your destiny before the doors have even been built. Clarity is born from belief. Belief is the oxygen of vision. Without belief, vision suffocates. Andrew Carnegie, a man who rose from nothing to become one of the wealthiest in history, once said that men who cannot believe in themselves will never believe in opportunity. And he was right. The world bends for the one who believes. Doubt whispers, but belief roars. Belief transforms the impossible into inevitable. Yet belief alone is not enough. Vision must be armed with purpose, sharpened with discipline, and set ablaze with relentless action. Vision without action is a mirage in the desert, beautiful but forever out of reach. Discipline is the bridge between dream and reality. Purpose is the compass that keeps you moving when storms rage and shadows surround you. And action, decisive, daily, unrelenting action, is the hammer that strikes stone into shape. Consider Abraham Lincoln, a man of unshakable vision. He saw a nation divided, bleeding, at war with itself, and he held in his mind a picture of unity and freedom. He faced defeats, losses, humiliation, but he never released the blueprint. Step by step, decision by decision, action by action, he carved the vision into history. His destiny was not written by circumstance. It was written by the clarity of his vision and his unyielding commitment to it. The truth is this: your vision will be tested. The moment you dare to hold a blueprint for your destiny, resistance will rise. You will face voices that laugh, storms that threaten, walls that block your path. But remember this: diamonds are formed under pressure, and so are destinies. The greater the vision, the greater the resistance. The blueprint will shake, but it will not break as long as you refuse to surrender it. Gratitude becomes your fuel in those trials. Gratitude transforms obstacles into lessons, failures into stepping stones, hardships into hidden gifts. When you are grateful, you stop asking, "Why me?" and you begin declaring, "Try me." Gratitude keeps the fire alive when the winds howl against it. Gratitude reminds you that every breath, every struggle, every moment is part of the sacred design unfolding in your favor. And adaptability is your shield. The blueprint is not destroyed when the storm rearranges the landscape. It is redrawn, reimagined, refined. Edison failed 1,000 times, but he never abandoned the vision. He simply redrew the lines until the light emerged. Your ability to adapt does not weaken your vision, it strengthens it. For destiny is not a straight line. It is a road with curves, mountains, and valleys, and only the adaptable survive the journey. So hold your vision high. Guard it as you would guard your life. Feed it with belief. Sharpen it with clarity. Anchor it with purpose. Strengthen it with discipline. Advance it with relentless action. Protect it with gratitude. And shape it with adaptability. For in the end, your vision is not just a picture of what could be. It is the divine blueprint of what must be, if only you dare to build it. Your vision is the seed, but seeds demand soil. The soil of destiny is your mind. What you plant in the mind grows in the world. If you sow doubt, hesitation, and fear, then your harvest will be weeds of regret. But if you sow faith, determination, and clarity, then you will reap abundance beyond measure. The soil does not argue with the seed. It simply multiplies whatever is planted. So guard your mind like the gates of a sacred temple, because your destiny is written in the silence of your thoughts long before it is carved into the chapters of your life. History is filled with monuments to visionaries who understood this law. When the Wright brothers stood on the windswept sands of Kitty Hawk, they carried no guarantee, no applause, no certainty, only vision. Where others saw gravity as a prison, they saw it as a puzzle. They believed flight belonged not just to birds, but to humanity. And so, when their fragile machine lifted into the air for those fleeting seconds, the world itself was lifted. That moment was not an accident. It was the unveiling of a blueprint that had lived in their minds long before it was written into history books. Vision requires solitude. You cannot always hear the whisper of destiny in the roar of the crowd. Great visions are born in silence. In long walks alone. In nights staring at the ceiling. In the moments when the world sleeps and you are left face to face with the question, "Who am I meant to become?" Do not fear that silence. In it, you will hear the voice that guides kings and dreamers alike. And yet, vision also demands courage. Courage to look ridiculous before the world. Courage to walk alone when no one else believes. Courage to defy the gravity of mediocrity that pulls at every soul. Look to Steve Jobs, a man who was told his ideas were too strange, too radical, too impossible. Yet he stood by his vision with a ferocity that shook entire industries. He saw a world where technology was not cold and mechanical, but intimate and beautiful. Today, billions carry his vision in their pockets. That is the power of one man who refused to trade vision for approval. But courage is not a one-time choice, it is a discipline. Every morning, you must rise and recommit to the vision. Discipline is the furnace where vision is refined. The Spartan warriors of ancient Greece trained endlessly, not because war was guaranteed, but because vision demanded preparation. They understood that the strength to hold a shield on the battlefield is built in the quiet repetition of drills at dawn. Likewise, the discipline to hold your vision when storms rage is built in the daily habits you repeat when no one is watching. Action is the test of all vision. Too many souls die with their dreams still in their minds because they mistook dreaming for doing. Dreaming paints the picture, but action lays the bricks. Action turns the invisible into the tangible. Action is the bridge you cannot avoid crossing. Napoleon Hill wrote that every adversity carries within it the seed of equal or greater benefit. But that seed does not bloom in the mind alone, it demands action. It demands you rise from the comfort of thought into the furnace of effort. Think of a blacksmith striking metal. Each strike seems small, insignificant, unworthy of history. Yet strike after strike, blow after blow, the formless is shaped, the vision is revealed, the weapon is born. Your daily actions are those strikes. They may feel small, invisible, unworthy of glory, but keep striking, and one day the world will hold in awe what you forged. And when failure comes, and it will, do not tremble. Failure is not the death of vision, but its refining fire. Failure asks you, how much do you truly want this? Will you trade the vision at the first sign of resistance, or will you hold it tighter? Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Edison was told his ideas were foolish. Lincoln lost election after election before rising to lead a nation. Failure did not define them, it forged them. If you never fail, it means you never dared enough. Resilience is the secret weapon of the visionary. To fall and rise again, to be struck and still move forward, to stand where others collapse, that is resilience. Imagine a tree struck by storms. The weak are uprooted, but the strong sink their roots deeper. Each storm makes them more unshakable. So it must be with you. Each setback is not a burial but a planting. Each defeat is not an ending but a preparation. The roots of your destiny are driven deeper every time the storm comes.